If anybody want to dance, come on, let's do this. Like, I see y'all up there trying to dance and whatnot, act like y'all don't want to. Come on, let's party. Come on. I dare y'all. I dare y'all. Get up and start dancing. Get up and start dancing.
You letting them dance?
Y'all sitting in the seat doing the seat dance and all that. Good morning, everybody. We got a room full of investors here. I mean, I hope y'all been talking to each other, meeting new people and all that, because there's a lot of new people in this room. And it's a lot of people that I do know from the other meetups and stuff. But come on, let's do this. I mean, anybody want to dance? Happy holidays. Like, come on, man. Y'all tired? Oh, Linda's in the house. Go ahead, Linda. I see you. Linda going on the cruise.
What?
Linda's in the house.
It's time for the percolator.
Oh, shucks. I know somebody better dance now.
It ain't going to be this person.
Time for the percolator. Come on, Charles. Let's show them how we be doing it. It's
what?
Time for the percolator. Come on. We can't get too crazy, though.
What?
It's time for the percolator. Y'all know about that?
Okay, let's do something. Hold on.
Annie, you know about
Hold on. DJ, play it down a little bit. We're going to have a little test. I've always told my wife that she can't handle me when it comes to cutting the rug.
He be showing off.
This is what we're going to do. When the DJ hit the music, Tammy, you get down. And then I'm going to say cut, and the DJ going to cut. Then when we do it a second time, I'm going to get down. Well, and I want you to know who got down.
Well, if he plays some if you play some reggae music.
If you can dance, you can dance.
If you play some reggae music or some soca, I'll definitely beat him.
DJ,
play some
you ready?
Some reggae
DJ,
music.
you ready? You got that side of the room.
You got some reggae music?
You go on that side of the room.
You got some reggae music?
Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! All right, DJ. All right.
What you gonna do now?
Damn.
And that's the clean version, because I was trying to do all that other stuff that I do on the cruise.
Okay. I have to admit, if you thought that was hot, let me hear you say, yeah. Okay. Don't laugh at that. I haven't even started yet. Don't laugh at me like they already know.
Well, that's the clean version anyway.
Okay. DJ, you got something for me?
And Sharice. Yes? Pardon me? He better watch that back. Yep, that's right. Because you know your back just got better. Yep.
Okay.
That's what it is.
All right. Go ahead.
Oh, you got this. Stay patient.
Oh, shot. Okay. What is that? He's a running man. Okay.
Whoa! It's driving me out of my mind. That's why they God still need to find. It's bringing me
My head.
Mr. Poison. Woo! Okay, DJ, cut it.
I won. Yes, I won. Yeah, I won. That's right.
Okay, if you think Tammy crushed it, hear a hand applause? Okay. If you think the mad scientists crush it, give him a big hand of applause. Hold on. Okay. I know when I've been defeated.
That's right.
I know when I've been defeated. However, I'm still a winner because I married her. Okay. I know why you came here. First and foremost, we got to do a little bit of home, or say housekeeping. First thing first, the bathrooms are right next to the TV on the left side of this wall. So when you go out, you see a TV on the left side, make a left, you have the men's and you have the women's bathrooms. And goddamn, I'm tired.
I'm not.
God, it must be the altitude. Damn. Okay. Second, we're going to have lunch break at 12:30. They gave you guys the actual items that they have on the actual buffet. It's buffet style. So first come, first serve. Get out there at 12:30 for your lunch break.
And when you go, turn in the paperwork and pay at the same time and sit down. The food comes much faster.
Okay. Now, you guys came here for the 2-day Distressed Properties Masterclass. And the reason why you're here is, what, financial independence? Financial freedom? I want just a few of you guys to raise your hand and tell me, what is your definition of financial independence? Anyone? Raise your hand. Yes.
When your income is lower than your output. So I'm pocketing money every month.
Got it. So your income is lower than your expenses, which means you have an overflow of money that you pocket every month. Mm-hmm. Great definition. Who else? Yes. So you also want that residual income monthly. Who else? Anyone? There you go.
I like him.
The freedom to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it.
Blair
like
said
that.
ever.
Exactly. So I'm going to hate to ask you what your job is. Okay. The key to this workshop is taking lots of notes. Because first and foremost, all of you who have registered, I'm going to tell you how thorough we are. I'll tell you how thorough me and my lady are. For all of you who have registered, we've already started emailing you guys the PowerPoint slides for today's presentation. So if you haven't gotten them already, you'll have them before lunchtime in the email address you use. And you'll thank me, thank Akil. Where Akil at? Tell Akil to come here.
You know, Akil like to keep it on the DL.
Akil like to keep it on the DL, but
yes,
Akil is the engine behind the engine. Let's give Akil Scott a great big hand. Give him a big hand. Give him a big hand in there.
And this is Valerie's better half, other half.
I know it. Akil, stay right there. I know it looked like he's sitting down, but he really is standing up. Okay. Thank you, Akil. Thank you. Now, the other thing I want you to keep in mind, this is 2 whole days. Do not drink this information as if it's a fire hose. 1 drop at a time. When you get finished over this weekend, don't try to take everything home and do all of it at once. It's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. However, if you take it, consume it, learn it, understand it, then implement it, then you can do it. It's that simple. Now, we all know Valerie Scott has everything when it comes to doing distressed properties. I've always wanted to have you have the DJ, give me some music.
Is he over there?
I don't know what he's doing. He must be from Odell's. Okay, that's all right, DJ. Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because, you know, when you do comedy and stuff, they have the man says, cut it, and they cut it. They said, go, and it go. That's what I thought I had here. That's what I thought I had. So let's see if I got it. DJ, play some music. DJ, cut it. Okay, you can do a little bit better than that. DJ, play some music.
Well,
DJ, cut it.
And fill it out.
Oh, that's better. That was better. That was better. One more time. DJ. 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 Play some music. DJ. I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. That's all right. That's all right. Thanks a lot. Now, let's get this going. Okay. We know what Valerie is. And England has a queen. So when the Queen of England comes up and all the people stand up and praise her master, whatever it is.
A royalty. Her royalty.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Her royalty. There's certain music to come on. So we have a queen. DJ, play our music for our queen. DJ, play the music for the short sale queen.
Yeah.
Everybody stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Let's welcome Valerie Scott, the short sale queen! Oh! Yeah, DJ!
I know y'all ain't gonna let Valerie dance by herself.
Keep standing. Cameraman, give me a wide shot. Give me a wide shot. Give me a wide shot of the audience. Come on through. Come on through. That's right. Keep it staying. Keep it staying. Oh, where Akil at? Akil, get up here. Akil. Come on up here, boy. Where you at?
You dance by yourself, right?
Where's Akil at?
Back there working.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. She deserved every bit of it. Akil, I know you're here somewhere, but when Valerie came down that aisle, there were some young guys giving her a look, and you wouldn't believe, Akil. I'm telling you.
I saw them looking, too.
I'm serious.
She was doing a little twerk right there. I saw it.
Okay, everybody. Once again, Valerie Scott, short sale queen.
Okay. All right. I know y'all thought I was going to drop it like it's hot. No.
You did.
All right. But what I am going to do is drop some hot information on you. Okay, how about that? Okay. I want to thank you for the wait. That's more people than we expected. That's good. Okay, more people to share the wealth and the information with. And so we just wanted to accommodate everybody. So again, thank you. And I want to thank all of you for coming out. I know I'm out of breath, but I'll catch my breath in a second. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, I see a lot of new faces in here, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of friends, okay? But introduce myself. I am Valerie Scott, and I am going to be your teacher today for the Distressed Properties Masterclass. Now, let me just tell you who Valerie Scott is. Because 20 years ago, I was sitting right where you are. Okay? I'm telling you, 20 years ago, that's where I was. I am a wife to Akil. I am a mother. I have a daughter, grandmother, real estate investor, educator, mentor. Some of you in here, I have been your coach. I have been your mentor. Okay? Now, this is my first deal that is up in the sky. All right? I did that 20 years ago, in the year 2000. First deal was a VA foreclosure in Ellicott City, Maryland. I made $20,000 on that first deal. Did not know what I was doing. Okay? There were not, 20 years ago, these meetups and a lot of these real estate investment clubs. There was only a handful. Okay? So when I first started, I did not even go to an investment club, and I was able to make this $20,000. Made a lot of mistakes on the way, but I did make it. Okay? This is to show you, if you can see this right here, where you see that the Secretary, does everybody see down in the middle section right here? It says Secretary of Veterans Affairs. It was a VA foreclosure, and I actually purchased it, no money down, for $135,000. And I actually did a double closing the same day. If you see where it says Valerie Scott, I purchased it for $135,000. Sold it on June the 1st, 2000. I know you may not be able to see that. Oh, by the way, okay, how many people received the PowerPoint? We emailed y'all this morning. It's this. So if you want to look at your phone, okay, because I'm going to be giving a lot of websites and stuff that you're going to want, a lot of good information. That's why I sent that PowerPoint to you, because I want you to have this information. So it's the same PowerPoint, but anyway, okay. Purchased it for $135,000 June the 1st, 2000, and I actually sold it for $158,000 same day, June the 1st. Everybody see that? Okay. After all expenses, made almost $20,000. Somebody tell me what mistake I made, because remember, I didn't know what I was doing. It's in my name. Everybody hear that? You see Valerie Scott? Okay. By the end of the day, y'all will know not to put properties in your name. But nobody told me that. Okay? So, first lesson of the day. Doing real estate investing, you are not going to put properties in your name. Okay? Now, fast forward several years. I started in the year 2000. The market crashed in 2006, between 2006 and 2008. Market crashes. But that's okay, because I had learned how to work with these foreclosures. I was already in position to make money, okay, with foreclosures and short sales. So that's one of the reasons I'm glad to see so many of you here. I don't know if you know, but it's predicted that that market is going to crash again. How many people have heard that? Okay, so this is the time to position yourself and learn how to do this, for when that market crashes, you're going to already be ready. Okay? So, this is just showing up in the air again, but I can talk it because I know it because I wrote it. Okay? That just in certain areas that we traditionally in Maryland do not see housing trouble, like in Annapolis, capital. That's our capital, right? Who would think that Annapolis is showing housing trouble? How many people would think that? Okay? Annapolis, Laurel, 13% of the mortgages are underwater. Underwater, we'll talk about that, which means that those homeowners owe more on those properties than what it's worth. Baltimore, It has the third highest percentage of underwater properties in the United States. Okay? Highest rates of foreclosure, Malik, New Jersey. Okay? New Jersey has for a long time, years, it's been New Jersey, Maryland. They've been playing this dance. Who's going to be number one throughout the United States in terms of foreclosure? Right now, it is New Jersey. New Jersey, Maryland, Waddell, Delaware. Okay? All right. District of Columbia. How many people live near or invest in D.C.? Okay? What's been happening in D.C.? Prices have been going up. What happens when prices go up? They got to eventually come down. And so now in the District of Columbia, they're seeing an increase in foreclosures being started by the banks. Okay? Increase in that, okay? These are the things that you need to be watching. Okay. Other foreclosure trends, we know that, like I said, Maryland is in the top 3. You got the top 5 states is Delaware, New Jersey, Maryland, Illinois, and Florida. Okay? You know what? Mickey Mouse's city, all right? Where's Mickey Mouse live? Okay? Orlando. That's where Mickey Mouse lives, right? Well, throughout Florida, Orlando has the number 1 foreclosures throughout area for foreclosures throughout Orlando. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, Mickey Mouse is going to be okay. But some of the other people are not. All right. This is what you need to know. Now, remember, I've been doing this for how many years? At least 20. Some of you know me from a long and way back then, okay? And you know I've been doing this for 20 years. So, there will always be distressed properties. Always. No matter what market we are in, there are going to always be distressed properties. I don't care how good the market is, somebody is not going to be able to pay their mortgage. Am I correct? Somebody's going to abandon their house. Okay? Somebody's going to pass away and the house has then become abandoned. There's a number of reasons, but I'm telling you, for 20 years, I have been doing these, and along with other types of properties, but I'm saying, what did they say? The riches are in the niches. If you can do these type of properties, distressed properties, you will always be able to have properties. You're going to always. Okay, so what's the saying going? What the young people say? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay? We know it's coming, so get ready. Stay ready, learn this, so you'll be ready. So you'll know how to do this now, and when you get that flood of foreclosures comes, you're ready. Okay? You're ready. Okay. Now, one of the things you do, you got to have the right mindset, though. Mindset is very important because your mind will keep you from doing things. How many people believe that? Okay? Your mind can keep you from doing it. Okay? Your mind can say, this don't work. Okay? Why are you wasting your time? You need to get a job and forget about this. Okay? So, I'm here to tell you, and I'm going to show you throughout these 2 days. I got 2 days with you, and I'm going to show you how you can do this with little or no money down. Okay? There's several people here who have worked with me, who have done these deals with zero money out of their pocket. Okay? And I'm going to show you how to do this. So what you need is the right mindset along with some specialized knowledge. Put the two together, and I'm telling you, you are powerful. Nobody can stop you. Okay? What that song say? Ain't no stopping us now. All right. Okay. Now, what do you think is one of the biggest myths and misconceptions in real estate? What do you think? Right there. You with the orange. I can't hear you. Speak up. You need money. I'm telling you, that's one of the biggest things that keeps people from getting into real estate investing, because you think, I need to save money. I don't have good credit. Okay? Nobody's going to give me a loan. Isn't that what your mind is telling you? Okay? Because that's what we have been traditionally taught. Am I right or am I right? Okay? Save money. Okay? Have good credit. And I'm saying, okay, and I'm with that. You should have good credit. But if you don't have to, because I didn't have good credit when I started. And I certainly didn't have any money. Okay? So, okay, save money, have good credit, and go to the bank and get a loan. Isn't that the way to do it? Okay? And so if you can't do it that way, then you can't invest in real estate. Well, that is a myth. Now, so we're talking about, I'm telling you, that's the big elephant in the room, is money. It takes money to make money. Remember, that's what people always say. It takes money to make money. How many of us heard that? Okay? I'm telling you, you can do this without any of your own money. Okay? Now, I'm not saying there's no money going to be involved in these transactions, but guess what? It's just not going to be whose money? It's not going to be your money. It'll be somebody else's money. Okay? Let me just tell you something. Okay? Other people's money. If you have no money, bad credit, good credit, it doesn't matter. You still can get started. When it comes to real estate, there are people out here who will lend you the money. Okay. If you have no money, if money is required, there is somebody out here who will lend you money. Please trust and believe me when I say that. Now, let's think of some things that you may need money for in real estate. Let's say if you see a property on the MLS, all right, and you want to put an offer in it, and the agent requires that you need a deposit. And let's say that deposit is $1,000, and you don't have $1,000. Okay? How many people, if I came to you and I said, hey, I got this good property that I want to put an offer in on. If you lend me $1,000, I'll give you $2,000 back. Look around you, please. Look at the hands. No, seriously. No, look around. Put your hands up, and I'm going to step to this side now. Look around you. How many people said that? There's at least a dozen hands. There's some hands up here. Okay? Okay? Raise these hands high. Look around you. Okay? All right. You say there's not enough money, sir? How much would you want? You want a percentage of that house. Okay, if I give you 25%, will you do it with me? Okay, well, I'm gonna get we're gonna wholesale that house, and we're gonna make at least $20,000. I'll give you 25%. He'll do that deal. See what I'm saying? He will. Okay, look at these hands. Look at these hands. Now look at what's going on here. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? Look how easy that was. Look how easy that was. And there are contracts put in place so that you don't lose. Whoever's putting up that money doesn't lose their money. Okay? you're not giving the money to me, okay? You're not giving it to me to put in my pocket because, Valerie may run off, okay, somewhere. I don't know. Okay, I might be down in Orlando looking for houses. It's okay. But
that's okay. We know where Kill lives.
Okay. Oh, no. No, Kill gonna be with me, okay? So I'm saying, but just look how easy that was. If you partner with somebody or give something, you're leveraging their money, but you're still making money. And that way, on that next deal, you may not have to go to someone else. So that's how I want you to begin to think. Okay? Don't think, oh, I can't because I don't have any money. Just think, who can I or how can I get this money? And how do you get it? You get it by going to like the Real Deal Meetup and, those types of places. You will find people there who will be able to help you with that. Okay, I said, so today I am going to cover how to flip distressed houses, even if you have little money, no money, good credit, bad credit, no credit, okay? Because we got all different types of people in here who are in different situations. We have some people who have good credit. Okay? So everybody's different. But I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what your situation is, you can do this. So I want you to turn to the people in front of you and beside you, and here's what I want you to say to them. Look, I'm going to learn how to do this. When I walk out here this weekend, tomorrow, I am going to start real estate investing in distressed houses, okay? Come on.
Everybody, go ahead. Talk to each other.
Talk to each other.
Affirm it. Confirm it. Talk it into existence. That's the key. You want to talk it into existence. If you don't understand it, you don't realize it, it won't happen. That's right. Talk it into existence. Anthony, I don't hear you talking. All right.
Okay. I know it sounds corny, but really, if you believe it, you really can achieve it. I'm telling you, if you believe it, you can achieve it. It's no way, we all have our things that we need to believe. It's no way I thought I would have this many people here who wanted to hear what I had to say.
Give me a big hand.
So, okay, all right. So if you believe it, you can achieve it. Just really open your mind. All right, so before we jump into real estate investing, I don't care what type of investing you do, you got to prepare, right? You can't just jump in, okay? You don't want to do what I did. I just jumped in. It worked out, okay? It worked out. $20,000 worked out, but it won't always be that way. But when I did jump in and made that first money, I did go out and get a mentor, okay? So we're going to do some preparation because you got to learn some things before you jump into investing. So this morning before lunch, okay, we're going to prepare to invest. And then when we come back from lunch, what we're going to do? We're going to dive into investing. Okay, so these are things we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about the role of equity, money-making exit strategies, basic components required for distressed property. I'm going to cover those three things. Okay, so equity. Equity plays an important role in distressed properties. So what is equity? Equity is the difference between the fair market value and the amount that is owed on the property. Very simple. Okay? So, for example, if the fair market value is $300,000 and it has a mortgage of $200,000, then it has positive equity of $100,000. Very simple. Everybody got that? Isn't that simple? Okay. All right. Now, but what some people forget, they forget to add in the other liens against the property. Okay, you can't just look at that mortgage. We're talking about distressed houses. Okay, so when you're talking about distressed houses, you're talking about people who have some type of, most of the time, some type of many times, some type of financial problem. Okay, so if they're not paying their mortgage, it's most likely they're not paying some of the other bills that may be associated with that house. So, in this example, same $300,000 is the fair market value, right? Meaning if the house was in good condition and they sold it, they could get $300,000. But they have a $165,000 mortgage. They have a code violation of 2567, and we're going to talk about code violations later. You got a property tax sitting out there, okay, of $72.55. You subtract all that from $300,000, they still got equity in that house. Everybody got that? So what I want you to understand is when you think about equity, don't just think about the mortgage that is on the house. When you're talking to a homeowner, you want to ask them, do they have any other liens against that property? Now, let's talk about negative equity. All right? Negative equity. You got positive equity, but when you hear of a house being upside down or over leveraged, okay, a lot of those houses are going to have negative equity. So, $300,000 house, but they got a $500,000 mortgage sitting on that house. These are real type of situations when you deal with distressed properties that you're going to come in contact with. So that gives it a $200,000 negative equity. But what would most people do with that? Run, walk away. Tell the homeowner, I can't do anything. I can't help you. What would Valerie do? Short it. Okay, it will be possibly a short sale.
Hold on a second. I need everybody, when Valerie say, what would Valerie do? I want you to say, short it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, short it.
Okay, and that's what we're going to talk about this afternoon, how to do short sales. Okay, that's what I would do with that house. Okay. Here's another one, negative equity. Fair market, it's fair market value $125,000, has a mortgage of $165,000. Got that code violation sitting out there, 2567, 7255 property tax lien, negative equity, 4982. Again, most people would, a lot of investors would, they run. Okay? But what would Valerie do? Okay. All right. See, you're getting it. All right? So, when you're talking to homeowners, what are we going to ask them? Do you have any liens against the properties? Sometimes they may not know, but I'm going to give you later some sites, okay, that you will be able to go to determine what liens are against the property. Okay, the amount of equity that's in that property will determine what your investing and exit strategy is. Because even if it's a distressed property, it could have equity. So if it has equity, then I won't have to short it. I can just go ahead and do something, whatever I want with it. Everybody understand that? Okay. So, let's talk about some ways to make money with distressed properties. Who wants to hear about that? Okay. There are many ways to make money with distressed property. I'm only going to talk about 4. Okay. These are your 4 most popular ways. So, the first one, you can fix it, you can buy it, fix it, and flip it to a retail buyer. You know how you see on TV, flip this house, that type of stuff, okay? You buy the property, you fix it up, and then you turn around and resell it to a homeowner who wants to live in the house. That clear? Everybody got that? All right. The next one, you can fix it up, and hold it as a rental, which is a very good strategy. You should be doing, and actually should, in terms of developing wealth or creating wealth, you should be doing a combination of these strategies, and we're going to talk about that. Okay, but you can fix it and hold it for a rental and get that monthly cash flow. Sound good? Okay, all right. Now, let's talk about another one. Fix the property up, hold it as a rental, right? You're going to hold it as a rental, which means you're getting cash flow every month. Then you're going to refinance it. Does everybody know what refinance it is? You sure? Okay. You're going to refinance it, and when you refinance a property, what can you do? You can cash out. You can pull a lump sum of money. Depending on what that property is worth, you may be able to pull $20,000, $30,000 out of that property. And the beauty of that is you still have the property that's cash flowing every month. Now, I want everybody to understand that, because that's a good strategy. I know everybody wants to wholesale, okay? But once you do a couple of wholesale deals, you want to start doing something like, I would say, number 3, because that way you're holding property, you're buying, holding property, getting that cash flow, and you still can pull a lump sum out of that property. Everybody understand? Yes, ma'am. Yes, her question was, when you refinance, are you going to the bank to pull out some of the equity? Yes, and the bank is not going to let you pull out 100% of that equity. You're only going to be able to pull out maybe up to about 70%. Okay? So you still have equity in that house. It's called the BRRRR method. You hear BRRRR meaning buy it, rehab it, rent it, and refinance it. I mean, I just think it's beautiful. Because you still have the egg, which I'm referring to as the house. No, you still have the goose that's laying the golden egg. You're still getting money from that every month. You've pulled out a lump sum, and you're still getting those monthly payments. Don't you think that's beautiful? I mean, really, no, seriously, think about that. Okay? We have a property right now that I'm trying to convince my husband to do. Okay? It's a little dilemma going on there. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's exciting. I'm telling you, real estate investing is so exciting. Okay? All right. The last one is wholesale properties or flip contracts for quick cash. Okay? And we're going to spend some time on that, because a lot of people here, I know for a fact, want to learn how to wholesale. Because people say, Miss Valerie, you going to teach wholesaling? You going to teach wholesaling? How many people want to learn how to wholesale property for quick cash? Okay? All right. And that's the majority of the room. Okay? So the majority rules. Now, let me say something about wholesale. How many real estate agents in here? Okay. Oh! Okay. Do it again. How many real estate agents in here? Wow. Beautiful. You know I got to be on my toes. I got to be very careful what I say. Because I'm going to tell you, they're going to hold me accountable. Okay? Well, just so you know, my daughter is a broker. and she keeps me on my toes and makes sure that everything is done properly in our office. Okay. When wholesaling, when I said I had to be careful, I put the word wholesale properties. And I had to be very careful with that because a lot of people know that word wholesale. But what you're doing is you're flipping the contract. Okay? Unless you have a real estate license, if you were not one of those people who raised your hand and said you had a real estate license, if you do not own that house, you are not selling houses. So let me say it again. Let me be clear. If you do not have a real estate license, number one, or if you don't own the property yourself, you are not out here selling properties. I don't want anybody to go and say, Miss Valerie told us today how to sell houses without a license. I don't want to hear it. Okay? So the agents in the room, don't send me any emails. Okay? Don't put it out there on social media. Okay? I won't see it, but somebody, because I'm not really out there like that, but somebody will come back and tell me. And hopefully they will correct you and say, well, no, that's not what she said. But you can flip contracts. And that's what we're going to talk about right now, is what? Flipping contracts. Are you selling houses? No, unless you're a real estate agent or if the house belongs to you.
And then he may not be selling the house.
Okay.
No. I'm biased against real estate agents. What can I say?
What? Excuse me, I didn't hear what you said.
Nothing.
Okay. All right, well, okay, he's speaking on this breath, so it must not be worth hearing, okay? Okay, so wholesale. So what we're going to talk about today is 3 wholesaling closing strategies. These 3 strategies you are going to have to be familiar with in order to be able to wholesale properties. You're going to come in contact with these. These are the 3 that you're going to come always in contract with. Okay. Contract assignment. Contract assignment means you assign your right to purchase a property to another buyer. Okay? So let me explain it. Let me go in a little bit more detail. Earlene right here in the pretty purple sweater. She has a house. I go to Miss Earlene and I say, Earlene, I'd like to buy your property. And we negotiate a little bit. And so we come to an agreement on how much. How much can I buy your house for? $150. I'm going to buy Earlene's house for $150. I'm going to do a contract with Miss Earlene for $150. There is a real estate contract between I'm the buyer and Miss Earlene is the homeowner who is selling. So she's the seller. Everybody got that? Okay? I'm the buyer, she's the seller. I have a contract to buy that property for $150,000. Can I borrow this? Okay, here's my contract in hand. We've both signed it. Okay? But really, she's selling it at $150, but really in its as-is condition, it's probably worth around $175. Okay? It's worth around $175. Okay, but Miss Earlene wants $150. I'm not going to argue with her. Okay? That's what she wants. That's what she's getting. So, I come over, let me come over here. Right here. What's your name, sir? Blaine. I come over to Blaine, who is a rehabber. He rehabs. Pretend like you do. He's a rehabber. Okay? And Blaine is looking for properties in the area that Miss Earlene's house is in. So I say, Blaine, look, I got this nice house that I'm trying to wholesale. Just full disclosure, he knows I'm wholesaling it. Okay. Now, I'm not going to tell him what my contract is with her. But, Blaine, would you want this house for $175,000?
Yes, I would.
Okay. All right. He didn't even negotiate with me. Now, just in real life, okay, that rehabber is going to do a little negotiation with you, okay? All right. But Blaine said he'd take it. Okay. So I tell Blaine I have a contract with Miss Earlene. We're going to do an assignment. Would you use my title company? Yes. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is what's called an assignment. This is an assignment of contract. Okay. And what this document basically says, what's in the middle? $25,000. I'm assigning my contract to Blaine for $25,000. Okay. So who's going to come to the table is Blaine. How much does to the closing table? How much does Blaine need to come to the closing table with? $175. Okay. How much am I collecting? $25,000. What's Blaine collecting? The keys. Okay. What's Miss Earlene getting? $150. Okay. That's an assignment. You find a property. You find a buyer, we call them end buyers, and then you assign your contract to that end buyer. Okay? Any questions on that? I want to make sure, because you're going to be using these concepts over and over when you're out here dealing with properties. Everybody understand that? Yes, sir, over here.
Just a quick question. How do you get your as-is? Are you going to move that, your as-is?
How do I know? Pulling comps. His question was, how do you determine the as-is value? You have to pull comparative properties. What we do is, and I will be giving a site this afternoon that you'll be able to pull comps on. What I would do is pull comparable properties to Miss Earlene's property that have not been rehabbed because hers needs work. That's why she's selling it at that $150,000.
Hey guys, Valerie just gave you a golden nugget. So not only do you pull comps for after repair value, you also pull comps for as is. Because that way you know what you can sell it for, what you more likely can sell it for, as opposed to just what the after repair value is.
Okay, everybody, I saw a hand in the back. Yes, sir. I can't hear you. Okay, can I repeat what? Go ahead.
Can you repeat about the contracts? How from Miss Arlene to the rehab?
Okay. Real quick. Miss Earlene, I'm buying a house from Miss Earlene for $150,000. There's a contract. She and I signed a contract. Okay? For $150,000. Blaine over here, right? He's a rehabber. And so I pulled the comps. Even before I did the contract with Miss Earlene, because I knew I was going to wholesale it, I pulled the comps to see what it was worth, right? And the property's worth somewhere between $150,000 and $175,000. Okay, that's $25,000 in the middle. So if I can get $175,000, then I make $25,000, right? If I can get $170,000, because my contract with her is $150,000, then I get $20,000. Got it? So I go to Blaine. He's a rehabber. Blaine said that he is willing to pay $175,000, right? Okay? This contract on the screen, which all of you have because I sent it to you, is an assignment of contract. So we're going to fill this out, which states Blaine is going to pay me an assignment fee of $25,000 to assign him my right to purchase the property. You got that so far? Okay? So he's stepping in my shoes. Instead of bringing $150,000, he's got to bring $150,000 for Miss Earlene to the closing table at the title company and $25,000 for me. Okay? Now, will you use two different contracts? Yes. Well, I use two different. This is an assignment contract just for assignments, but for a contract between the homeowner and the seller, that's a separate contract. Yes, that's a very good question. Okay, let me just also say something right here. Blaine is giving me a $2,000 deposit, non-refundable deposit. Okay? So if Blaine changes his mind, I'm only giving Blaine maybe 2 to 3 weeks, 3 weeks at most to close, because I have probably at least 45 days with Miss Earlene. I have 45 days to close with Miss Earlene. And normally with our properties, we get a buyer within the first 7 days because we really price them right. When you learn how to do this and price it right, I'm telling you, your properties will go very quickly. So, $2,000 non-refundable deposit. If Blaine does not close, guess who keeps that $2,000? Valerie keeps that $2,000. It doesn't happen that often. It really doesn't, but every now and then it does. Okay? I keep that $2,000 and then I find another buyer. Everybody got that? Okay. Wait a minute. Lady right there in the middle. Okay. Her question was, did I do an inspection on the property before I put it on the contract? I did. If you're asking me, did I do a home inspection? No. I know how to inspect properties, okay? And that's one of the things that we teach our students, how to inspect properties and come up with a repair value. So I know what the repairs are on her house, approximately. Okay. That's a very good question. She said at the time of settlement, if the owner shows up and it's not me, is there confusion there? We're not closing at the same time. Okay? We're not closing at the same time. Earlene the title company will have Earlene come. A lot of habbers will come maybe the day before and sign their papers. It's rare that we just don't do it all at the same time. Like what you're probably thinking of, traditional settlements where everybody is at the table at one time. It just doesn't happen like that. So, no, it's no confusion because we will never be at the table with Miss Earlene. Okay, somebody watch my time for me. What time is it?
So do you plan a dual closing, or how do you...
Do we do a dual closing? This is not a... Go with dual closings next. This is not a dual... This is one closing, okay? Blaine is stepping into my shoes, and he's buying that property. I'm getting paid my $25,000 because of this assignment agreement. Bottom line. The contract between me and Ms. Earlene goes to the title company. This document goes to the title company. I'm going to say, title companies know how to handle assignments. This is a normal transaction. This is nothing unique. Yes, sir, Mark.
Would it be better if I just put the property in an LLC and then sold him the LLC?
We're doing LLC assignments, the third one. Okay, that's one way of doing it, and with a lot of distressed properties, you're going to have to do that. Okay.
Who handles the liens?
Who handles the liens? The title company. When you send that contract over to the title company will pull title and see if there are any liens. Miss Earlene is getting $150,000. So in most cases, Miss Earlene is going to pay her own liens out of that $150,000 she's getting because she owns it free and clear, even if she's not paying her property taxes or what else, it's code violations. She's getting cash so she can pay her own liens. Okay, a couple of more quick questions.
So Ms. Earlene never has to know what your actual assignment fee was?
It's going to be on the HUD-1, the settlement sheet, if she knows how to read the settlement sheet. Okay, that's a good question. He's asking me, will Miss Earlene know that I'm making that $25,000? If she knows how to read a settlement sheet, I'm really looking for my phone, so I can keep track of the time.
I got you.
Okay. If Miss Earlene knows how to read a settlement sheet, then she will know. But here's the thing. I would never do a $25,000. I wouldn't do it that way. You would want to do it the next way I'm going to talk about. All right. Let's talk word on the street. Okay. Not New Jersey people. So, Malik, this is not for you unless you're doing deals here. In Baltimore, anything over $10,000, you do not want to do an assignment. You want to do a full closing. And let me explain to you why. If you're making $25,000, you're like, yippee, you're happy, right? Well, everybody ain't happy for you. Okay? Miss Earlene may not think too kindly because she's thinking, well, wait a minute, that's an additional $25,000 she could have had. Blaine may be thinking, when Blaine sees that $25,000 there, Blaine may come to me the week before closing and say, you know what, Valerie, I was thinking about this property and it's going to cost me more to repair it than I thought. I can't give you $25,000. I can give you $15,000. And we're a week before closing. So you don't want to do that in Baltimore unless you know that buyer or that rehab selling it to. There's some rehabbers out here who could care less how much you are making as long as they get the property at the price that they want. This is real. I'm telling you. This is real. So, if you have more than if you have more than 10,000, then you're going to want to do something else, like a double closing, and we're going to go over double closings. You can do an assignment for more than 10,000 if you know the person that you're wholesaling it to. If I know Blaine, then and he's okay with it, then I would do it. Everybody got that? Okay? Because you got to think, what is this other person going to say? And this is a relationship business. And once a lot of buyers out here, as long as you're bringing them good properties, okay, good properties at a price where they can make a good profit, then they're okay with what you make. But you got to build that relationship first. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one. Okay, double closing. It's called double closing. Some places like in the Midwest, or California, it may be called double escrow. Okay, so what is a double closing? A double closing is when you buy the property and sell it at the same time. Okay? You're buying it and you're selling it at the same time. So, let me come back here and buy a property. Excuse me. I need a property. I'm looking for a property. Okay. You have a nice smile. Hi. Let me see your tag. Okay. Erica, I'd like to buy your property. Okay. How much will you sell it to me for? That's reasonable. Okay. Erica's going to sell me her property for how much? $165,000. I've pulled comps, and I know the as-is value is, she's selling it at $165,000. What's the as-is value? How much we want to make on this? About $230,000? Oh my gosh. Okay, good. That's good. I don't have any calculator in my hand, so what's the difference in the middle? $65,000. Okay. Then she's real motivated. Okay, Erica just wants to get rid of that property. Okay, so the property can be sold for up to $230. All right. So I go to who in here rehabs? Who back here rehabs? Yes, sir. What is your name? Huh? Tim. Hi. Okay, Tim. I got this property on 123 Main Street, and I'm selling it for $235. How much you give me for it? As is $235. After it's fixed up, it's worth $500,000. Yes, sir.
How much repairs?
You should be able to pull your own comps because you rehab. Okay, but yes, I can provide you with comps. $235 is a good price. Come on now. That's his. I'm gonna talk. Okay, you came out and see it. So how much you want to pay me for this property? You already came out and see it, so and you like it. How much you gonna pay me? Because you're taking a little bit too long. I'm gonna move on to somebody. I got all the buyers. I got all the buyers. Okay. Oh, hello, Timothy. Tim. Okay. I'll get back with you. Okay. Tim. Hey, how you doing? How much you want to pay me for that property? Oh gosh, you're going even higher. I'm only asking $235, and you going $250. Okay, cause somebody do a calculator. I'm getting it at $165, $250 sold. Okay, how much in money in the middle? The money in the middle now is $85,000 in the middle. Okay, sold. Okay, and by the way, I want a $5,000 deposit, non-refundable deposit. Okay. All right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Okay? It's $85,000 in the middle. No way I'm doing no assignment. Okay? Because Erica is going to see that $85,000 sitting there, and she may get upset because Erica is the seller. Okay? So that's not going to happen. No. Okay. So what we're going to do is, but I don't have no money. I don't have no money. And I have to pay Erica $165. I have a contract between myself and Erica for $165, but I got $250 what's your name again? Tim? I have a $250 contract with Tim. So what I'm going to do is I did a contract with Erica for $165. I did a separate contract with Tim for $250. Everybody got that? You got two contracts here. You got two separate closings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to the title company now and ask the title company, can we do a double closing, but I want to use Tim's funds to fund both deals. Yes.
How do you get past the Federal Mortgage Corporation?
You know what? Okay, very good question. How do you get past the Federal Mortgage Corporation? I don't know. Let me tell you why I don't know, and I can answer that question. Because title companies are run by attorneys. And when contracts go to title companies, anything that you are not doing correct, guess where it stops? It's right at the title company. Because they are not going to lose their license over your deal. They got to insure those deals. Okay? They got to insure. So when you ask me questions about how can they do that, I'm not a title company. I don't pretend to be. I send it to title companies in the state of Maryland have to be overseen by attorneys. Okay? And so I send it to the title company and they handle that. That's where I'm out. Once it gets to the title company, my next thing is just to make sure that the buyers, that Tim's money, I'm following up with him to make sure that his money is getting to that title company. And is he going to close on time? Now, I want everybody to understand where we are. How many people in here have done double closings? Okay, so there are people who've done it. Okay, so two separate closings, right? First closing, I'm going to buy it from Erica for $165. Second close, what money am I using? Tim's. I'm using Tim's money because I don't have no money. I just don't have no money. Okay? So, okay. And you know the beauty of this? This is how my first closing went. That's how I did that $20,000. And from that point on, I never turned back. I began to do those type of deals. So let me finish though. I want to finish. Okay. So, closing. Set up two separate closings. Okay. First, we're going to close with Erica. Okay. Erica's happy. She gets her $165. I'm not closing until the title company tells me Tim's $250 is at the title company, right? His money's got to be there before I can close. If we're closing on Monday, I wanted Tim's money there Friday. Okay? Because I'm not going to tell Erica, I don't want the title company calling Erica, telling Erica we're going to close on Monday if Tim's money is not there. So when Tim's money's at that title company, we close. All right? So Tim's money is funding both deals. And if you go back and look at it on the public record, it actually shows two separate closing. It shows where I purchased it from Erica and where I turned around that same day and sold it to Tim. Okay, now I'll take questions. Okay, let me get some in the back, all the way back there. Yes, sir.
Valerie, can the person who's actually the second closing, can he use like a regular mortgage company to finance that, or does he have to be a cash buyer?
He needs to be a cash buyer. When we're talking about doing, here was a good question. He asked, could he use a regular mortgage company? If he's getting conventional financing, I'm not going to take him as a buyer. Because his funding may fall through and it takes longer to get conventional bank financing. I want somebody who has cash, hard money, line of credit, private money, self-directed IRA money. They can use all that. But I will not take somebody who has to apply for a loan. I want that person to close in no more than 21 days. Preferably 2 weeks when that title work is done. Yes, ma'am.
Now, if we're doing this to conceal the fact that we're getting a large assignment fee, can they ever go back and see that?
They can go back and look at the public record, but I have never.
Repeat the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Her question is, if you're doing this to conceal that you're making like $85,000, can either the buyer or the seller go back and see that you did that? Sure. Once it's recorded and it's over. It's no problem. I have never, ever, ever in my 20 years of doing this had anybody come back. Charles, you had anybody come back?
I've been doing it for 30 years. I've never had anybody go back after the closing and look over the title work. One of the issues that we as investors have is the what ifs. That's one of the biggest things that will stop people from doing deals, the what ifs. So keep that in mind. There's always going to be risk. You just have to decide, is the reward worth the risk, as long as you're not going to jail. So that's the key.
Your title company, here's what's going to happen. If anything is going to happen, right, the first place they're going to go to is your title company. Okay? Because if you were doing something incorrect, it stopped at that title company. Okay. Furthest in the back with the burgundy. All I can see is your burgundy hand. Yeah, stand up. A hat, burgundy.
Oh, hi. Hi, Valerie.
You got to stand up because I need to see who I'm talking to.
I have a buyer that asks to see the purchase and sales contract. How do you handle that?
Okay, if it's a if it's an assignment, when you do an assignment, if you say I'm going to assign your contract to them, yes, they want to see the purchase and sale agreement. But a double closing, I don't tell them what it's for. I mean, how much I'm making, and I don't let them see the contract with the seller because it's two separate closings, two separate contracts, two separate closing.
Okay.
But in my contract, I do disclose in the contract to that second buyer that I am not the owner of record. So I'm putting them on notice that I don't currently own this house. Now, if they choose not to read that contract, what can I do? It's not my job to educate that buyer.
Up front.
Okay.
I have a question about the title company. Do you have those resources? Because I know of some title companies that don't do double closings.
Okay. Let's talk. His question was, do I have some resources of title companies? Which I do. Okay. I normally, to be honest, don't like to give them out at an event like this because they get flooded with calls. Okay. So do you do double closing? You know what I'm saying? So I normally don't like to do that, but let me just talk to you about that a little bit. Okay. All title companies do not do double closings. Well, let me reframe that. Yeah. All of them don't do it. Wait a minute, Charles.
I know. Go ahead.
All of them don't do it. So your question to them is, will they do it and use the second the second closing to fund the deal? If you want to use a particular title, there's enough out here who do it, first of all. But the second thing is you can always use transactional funding, I'm sorry. Okay, so what is transactional funding? Okay, transactional funding, there are companies out here, and you can Google them. There's no shortage of transactional funding companies. Okay, and what they will do, let's take me and Erica's contract for $165,000. They will lend me that $165,000 to come to close with Erica. You see what I'm saying, sir? Okay. Now, they're going to charge me 2 or 3 points, but that's okay. I'm making $85,000, okay? So if they charge a couple of points, I don't care, all right? I'm still going to probably walk away with $80,000. So that's a way to do it, is to use transactional funding. Now, when I say lend the money to me, they send the money to the title company, and their instructions to the title company is, and by the way, these closings are called A to B, B to C closings. How many have heard of A to B, B to C closings? Okay, that's what we're talking about. And so when a transactional funding company sends that money to the title company, what they're going to say is, if Tim's $250,000 does not show up at the title company, do not lend Valerie that $165,000. Okay, they're not lending me that money to close on and buy that property and walk away. They're lending it specifically for that double closing. Everybody got that? Transactional funding companies, and it's quite a few. Okay, questions? Yes.
What verbiage would you use to have Tim drop the money off on Friday if closing is on Saturday?
What verbiage would you use to have Tim drop the money off on Friday if closing is on Saturday?
Okay, most likely closing is not going to be on Saturday because the banks are closed. Okay, it's going to be Monday through Friday. And in the contract with Tim, the Friday was the 6th. In the contract, it says that, well, the closing is on Monday, which is the 10th, right? So the title company will have asked him to bring his money, to send his money, okay?
And we had a situation just like that where the closing was not going to happen until the financing was in hand at the title company. And then they scheduled both parties one day after the other.
These types of deals are done all the time, and this is just something you really, I'm talking to you about this because a lot of investors that you are going to deal with, they understand these types of fund closings, okay? And so you need to understand it, and you need to know which is the best type of closing for the situation with the house that you're working with, and that really depends on how much money you're making. Yes, sir.
Seasoned investors, going back to what you just said, will they know the difference, or will they say something if you're doing a double closing versus a contract assignment?
Will seasoned investors say something if you're doing a double closing as opposed to a regular assignment?
Okay. I just spilled tea all over me. Okay. Will they say something if we're doing a double? Some may, but if you are giving that property at an excellent price, and they're going to be able to make the money that they want to make off it, a lot of them don't care. They really don't. Okay? They just want the property at the price that they want it at. And when you're out here dealing with buyers, you will see that. Okay? They're looking at their bottom line and what it takes, what price they need to get it at in order to make that money. And also, if you do have somebody that's giving you a hard time with that, then you need to move on. Like the gentleman right there in the back, remember I said next? And that's what you need to be able to say next. Okay? There's lots of buyers out here. How many? Let me ask a question. How many rehabbers do we have in the room? Okay, y'all need to turn around and look. Stand up. How many rehabbers do we have in the room? Okay, these are your buyers. Okay, and those of you who are standing up, what I'm saying, is it true? If you get it at the right price, isn't that all you're concerned about? Yes, sir.
I don't count your money, I count mine.
What did he say? That is excellent. That is excellent. He said, I don't count your money, he counts his. That's real important. Everybody is out here trying to make money, and there is enough money for everybody to make. Okay.
Can the buyer circumvent you and go to the seller?
No, I have a contract. Contracts are binding.
But what if they don't sign the contract?
Then if the seller doesn't sign the contract, then we don't have there's no deal.
So, but don't
you
they
have to have a contract?
Don't they have to read some of the details to decide if they want to take it or not? Like maybe the location and some of the pertinent information?
Are we talking about the seller or the buyer?
The buyer.
Okay. First of all, you got to have a contract with a seller, right? In order to do this, you have to. Well, you can't remember. That's the first thing. In terms of the buyer is going to go out and look at that property, okay? And they're going to pull their comps. Some of them will send their contractors out. They're going to do their due diligence, okay, to determine if they want it. Most rehabbers are not going to buy a sight unseen. Charles, there's somebody back there.
Raise your hand. Do you? Who's got the money? You have the money.
Okay, thank you.
Akil, you got a mic?
When you put a cloud on that property, once you get a contract signed?
You can put, what is it called? I don't do it that often. A memorandum of affidavit of memorandum. You can file that. If you want to what he's talking about, put a cloud on it so that the homeowner doesn't go around you, you can go down to the courthouse and file. It's called a memorandum David. I don't use them that
Yeah,
often.
guys, that's the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
So don't think that that's something you have to do with every deal.
Right.
You only do something with like that if you think you have a sketchy buyer, a sketchy seller.
Yeah.
That's a seller that you think is going to try to take 2 or 3 or 4 offers. Then that's something that you want to do. But that's going to be the exception to the rule.
Let me say something. Now we're talking about distressed homeowners. And so the type of homeowners that you're dealing with, when we get to the reasons why they sell their houses at such discounts, they are very motivated. These are people who really want to get rid of these houses, most of them. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more, and then I'm going to move on because the last one may take a few minutes. Okay, whoever.
Hi, so my question was, you said that when the buyer is going to have to possibly go to the home to do their due diligence, to look and observe, what does the seller say then? Because who do we say that the buyer is that's coming?
Contractor. I'm bringing a contractor over.
Okay. See,
I have that in
the
verbiage. It's in the contract. It's in the contract stating that I have the right. In our contracts, it states that I have the right to bring contractors, appraisers. Yes. Wait a minute, somebody in the back, Akil.
But actually, one more thing regarding that point, that's if the seller lives in the property.
Right.
If the seller doesn't live in the property, then you'll have a lockbox or a key to the property, and you can bring whoever you want. It's still in the contract.
Check. If it's 2 separate closings, are you paying the transfer tax twice?
Good question. The question was, if it's 2 separate closings, are you paying the transfer tax twice? Transfer tax are being paid twice, but what I normally do for the seller, we will pay the closing costs. When I'm selling it to the buyer, I'm asking the buyer to pay the closing costs. So I'm paying it once.
Where can we get access to the contracts?
Through my course. Okay, all right. But that's a good one. That's excellent question. You know, I have an excellent course. Okay. Yes, sir.
So when you're asking the title company to use the buyer's funds, do you have to use the title company to let the buyer know that, or how does that work?
They handle that internally. Okay. Like I said, the buyer doesn't care. They want that property. Okay, that's something that the title company handles internally. Okay, I'm going to move on, and I'll be around, so if you have more questions, okay. All right, so let's get to our third one, and I just think that's going to take a little bit longer. Okay. This is the LLC assignment. Now, this is a third closing technique. We did what? Contract assignments, right? Y'all know how to do contract assignments?
Right.
Okay. You did double closings.
Right.
Okay. And now we're going to do LLC assignments. So let's talk about this. First of all, when you're doing investing in real estate, you really should not be doing this in your name. I know I did my first one in my name, but I didn't know any better. But since I'm telling you for asset protection, you need to be doing it in an LLC. Okay, everybody got that? Okay. And we're going to talk about this afternoon how to get an LLC and all of that. So, an LLC assignment. When you're dealing with some types of properties, when you're dealing with bank foreclosures, I'm talking about your REO, real estate owned by banks. Okay? These are houses the bank has taken back. You're dealing with short sales. Okay? HUD properties, those type of properties. In their contract, it's going to say things that it doesn't say you can't do a simultaneous closing, but it says this property cannot, sometimes it may put what we call deed restrictions. And so it may say this property cannot be transferred for 90 days. I want you to hear me. What does that mean? This property cannot be transferred for 90 days. What does that mean? It can't, if you buy it, you have to hold it for 90 days. But we're wholesaling, right? We want that quick cash. We want that $85,000. Or we want to be like Franklin and get that $57,000 that he got last week. Okay? Through an LLC assignment. Okay. But anyway, so, but the contract from the bank says you cannot transfer this property for title to this property for 90 days. So that means if you buy it, you have to hold it for 90 days. Plain and simple. But that's not what we want to do. What are we doing? We're wholesaling. Okay, so, but it didn't say we can't sell our company. Okay. It doesn't say anything about what you can do with your company. So let's say the name of my company is Best Properties LLC. It doesn't say you cannot sell your company for 90 days. So since we can't sell the property for 90 days, what we'll do is sell the LLC. And what does the LLC do? The LLC is the one that has a contract to property. Now I see some frowns and some confused face, so I'm going to start over. Okay. I want to buy somebody's property. Michael, I want to buy a property from you. Okay. How much you going to sell me your property?
$200,000.
Okay. So, Michael, no. Can we do 190?
I guess so, yeah. Okay, maybe.
All right, fine. Can we do 150 since you guessed?
190 is fine.
190 is fine. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to buy Michael's property for $190, and it's a short sale. Okay, so it's a short sale, so I'm telling you it's going to have that deed restriction. Some of them may say 90 days, it can't be transferred. Some of them may say it cannot be transferred for 120 days. Okay. I have a contract. I don't have a contract. My company, Best Properties LLC, has a contract to buy Michael's property. Everybody with me? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Linda! How much you, okay, I want to, I got this property, Ellicott City, and I want to sell it for $120. Can you buy it? Yes. Okay. Linda's going to buy that property for $120,000. Okay. So I got one night. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Linda, I'm sorry. I'm not thinking. Okay. 220. You take it for 220? I can't do 120. But that's your area. You like that area. So can you take it for 220? I'm getting ready to move on. Okay. 220. So what's the difference between 190 and 220? 30,000. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have to sell the LLC. That LLC was simply created to do these types of transactions. Okay? This is not my permanent LLC. I would never do an LLC called Scott Properties LLC because I know that LLC is going to be assigned or sold. Right? Okay? And why would Linda want Scott Properties LLC? She doesn't want that. So we picked a name, Best Properties LLC, something neutral, and I'm going to sell or assign that LLC to Linda for $30,000. Everybody with me? Okay? So Linda will now own that company, Best Properties LLC. So who goes to closing? Me or Linda? Linda. Linda's the one that's got to bring the 220 to closing. We got to give Michael, title company now is going to take out of that 220, give Michael his money, give me. Okay, I'm probably not going to go. Okay, they're going to wire me my $30,000 and done. Okay? But guess what? Lender now owns Best Properties LLC. The title company will change the resident agent or the ownership to lender. Everything will be changed over to lender. I can never use that company again. It no longer belongs to me. Everybody got that? When you assign or sell your LLC, you don't own that company anymore.
So, should you have the LLC sitting on the side, or do you wait for a property contract?
That's a good question. Should you have an LLC waiting on the side, or should you have a, what did you say? Okay, well, you asked me, should you have multiple LLCs? Okay, should you have multiple LLCs? If you know you're going to do this and you can afford to have more than one LLC, yes. But I'm going to talk about a way to eat this after lunch that we can do it. Okay, in Maryland, the LLCs are relatively expensive. You can go down, you can online get an LLC for $200. Okay, in New York, it's like about 500. So I'm saying you want to get multiple ones. It really just depends on the area of the company that you're in. Okay, but yes and no, just depending on the area. Okay, and I recommend you don't get that LLC till you need it. You don't get it. There's no need to get it now. You don't get it till you need it. Okay.
The only advantage in getting it now would be for bank season, so you get your money fast.
No, if you don't. He said the only advantage would be for bank seasoning. You get your money faster, but you don't have a deal, so you're not. We're just getting it for a deal. When we get a house, then it's going to that one house. But you can get the LLC, really the same day. Within 24 hours, you can go online. I'm going to give you those websites and all this afternoon. You'll have all that. Okay? Yes, ma'am. I made $30,000. I have to pay tax $30,000.
So the income that you made is what you pay taxes on?
Yes. But it's coming, but
you're getting.
Go ahead.
You're going to be getting an actual check that's going to be deposited to you, whether it's wired or that. That's income. So that money you have to pay taxes on. And it's going when you assign or sell that LLC, it's going to the managing member. Right. Let's say if Valerie Scott was the managing member, then it's coming to me. Okay. Or wherever. But it doesn't have to be a person. It could be another LLC. Okay. And it all depends on the tax rate of either that LLC or your personal income. Okay. Let me catch this lady right here. Go ahead.
So that 90 days that person can sell their LLC?
Yes, that's a great question. That 90 days, I sold Linda that LLC. But Linda's a rehabber. So let's think about it. Rehabbers. That house needs about 75s and repairs. How long is it going to take you to do it? Huh? 3 months. If they're rehabbers, it's going to take them at least 3 months to rehab the house, right? Okay. Then they got to put it on the market and sell it. So they're not worried about that. They cannot resell it for 90 days because your buyers most likely are going to be landlords and rehabbers. You are not selling to retail buyers. And what I mean by retail buyer, a buyer that wants to live in that property. You're selling, your buyers are going to be landlords and rehabbers. Okay? And so they're not concerned about that 90-day waiting those 90 days. Landlord's going to hold it indefinitely. And a rehabber is going to take them 3 or 4 months before it's going to be ready to be sold again. The lady in the back.
So once you sell the LLC and it goes in the buyer's name, we don't have to go back and close that business, that LLC out or anything like that.
The title company does that. Your title company should do that, yes. But those forms are online, okay? If if they don't. But the title company normally does that.
If you're using the LLC, are you still allowed to use the Section 1031 to defer taxes?
You saying do a 1031 exchange?
Exchange, right.
Once you assign that LLC or sell that LLC to someone else, it no longer belongs to you. You can't do anything with it any longer. Let me just say this. This is just another way of wholesaling, okay? And let me say this. This is going to be, I want to say, if you're doing short sales, this is going to be the way you're going to do 95% of your short sales to get the money if you're wholesaling. Because I can tell you, most of those contracts the bank contracts are going to say that. If you're doing HUD houses, this is how it's going to be.
You just hit it right on the nail. That's what Brett Valley first said. This is perfect if you want to wholesale HUD houses, you want to wholesale bank REOs, you want to wholesale those deals that are listed on the MLS. That's what this strategy is for.
Okay. It's very popular, so it's not like you got to teach your buyers. Not most, but a lot of your buyers are already going to know this.
With all three strategies that you talked about, does the buyer have to be a cash buyer in all three wholesale strategies?
That's a good question. I want the buyer to have access to cash very quickly because we want to close quickly. I don't want a buyer that has to apply for a loan because they may get denied for that loan. So you either, again, they have access to cash in their bank. It can be from their Roth IRA. It could be hard money. I just want them to have access to that cash. And there are a lot of buyers out here who do have access to cash and who can close quickly because they may have private lenders.
So when am I assigning the LLC to the buyer? At the title company, on the close date?
Everything is done at the title. Well, you're going to do an assignment agreement when that buyer tells you that they're going to purchase the property, when you and that buyer agree upon a price, okay? And then once you agree upon a price, in that assignment agreement, wait a minute, we have one up here. In that assignment agreement, this is an assignment agreement. In that assignment agreement, it is going to tell you the date you're going to close, and then the title company, again, takes care of the rest of the documents. Okay? Yes, sir.
Well, Linda knows that she's going to send me a 1099 for my $30,000.
She probably won't, so you need to tell her. Okay? She probably won't.
Yes.
Thanks for holding this mastermind, Ms. Valerie. My name is Anthony Brown, and happy holidays to all of the investors and attendees here at this mastermind. I have a question for you.
Okay.
In regards to doing the short sales, the REOs, things of that nature, when applying this LLC strategy, two questions. One, the EIN, are we setting that up? And number two, in regards to the operating agreement, if the title company requests that, how will we take care of that?
Most title companies do not want you to set up the EIN number. They would prefer to set it up themselves when they're doing this transaction. Okay? That's what I've been told by the title company. Okay? I guess each title company may be different. Have you had that experience?
Same way, just like you just mentioned.
Okay. What was your second part? Operating agreement. Okay. Yes, you're going to need an operating agreement because you have to change on that operating agreement who the managing members are. If you don't have one, again, the title company can do that. I would suggest that you allow the title company to do it. Having a title company is really great because, especially an investor-friendly one, because they will do a lot of this for you. Yes, ma'am.
Say, for instance, you have student loans or you owe the IRS taxes. When the title company is running liens and everything for the deal, do you have to pay what you owe the state out of your funds?
That's an excellent question. If you're doing it in an LLC, the LLC doesn't have IRS taxes, student loans, just you would. So that's the whole purpose in doing it, that LLC, doing it. You see what I'm saying? They would take. Yes, absolutely, they would. They would. That's why. See the advantage of that LLC?
Stop it, Valerie.
Oh, what is the truth?
I know, but you're on video.
Okay, but you know what? But see, when you get that $85,000, pay those student loans.
There you go.
Whatever else it is. See, but remember, because we're doing this for financial independence, so when you make this money, you can pay off the bills that you have.
Good answer.
See? Yes, ma'am.
The offer in.
Right.
Okay, you have it instead of your LLC,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have money. So how are you showing the bank that the money is there? You don't have it under contract yet, so you don't have an end buyer.
Okay, very good question. Her question was, you see a property on the MLS, okay, and you want to put in a contract and you don't have any money yet, right? Am I getting it right so far? Okay. If you putting properties on the MLS, that means those properties are listed by agents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So number one, most of the time you're going to have a deposit.
Yep.
Am I right, agents?
Yep.
Except that. Okay. Am I right, agents?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The next thing before that agent's going to submit your offer, they want what? Proof of funds. Okay? So there are companies that give you free proof of funds. Where's Akil?
Right there. He's out front.
Okay. I'm going to give y'all a company now. You can write it down. You can go on there and get a free proof of funds letter. I always get it wrong. So, and I've used this letter, this company. You can go get it yourself, register it yourself, and produce your letters yourself.
The name of the company is Best Transactional Funding.
Everybody got that?
Best Transactional Funding.
We use it all the time. Those of you who have been my students, do we not use it? All the time. And it free.
Free 99.
Yes. Free. Free. Yes, sir. And you know I can't hear you.
What's the question? He said, is it a soft proof of funds or hard?
Soft, but it works. All the time. I'm telling you, for years. And there are other ones out here. Anybody else getting proof of funds offline? Any other companies y'all using? Okay, could you stand up, please?
Washington Capital Partners.
And theirs is online. You can get
Washington Capital Partners.
You can get a proof of funds letter.
That is until this video comes out.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. Google's my friend. I always tell people that I'll Google anything, and you'll find other companies that will do it. But okay, you've used that one, and I use Best Transactional Funding all the time. Okay? Any other questions? How am I doing on time? Okay, I'm good. Okay, let me keep going. Okay, but anyway, this is an example of what.
One more question.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I have one more question.
So when you sell your LLC to the end buyer, can you buy it back after, I guess, they're done?
No, it's gone. Once it's gone forever to that person. So I want you to think about it like this. Let's think about it like this. Let's say Walmart, right? Let's think of Walmart. If you buy Walmart, what do you get? You get all their inventory. You get everything they have. And you get everything. Their employees, but you're the new owner. So you run that LLC the way that you want to run it. It's the same with this. When you assign, and think of assigning as selling that LLC. When you sell it to someone else, it's gone.
And
it's
also,
not yours anymore.
And one thing you would also keep in mind, the reason why you don't want to have an LLC that's been around for a while, Valerie just touched upon it a little bit, but you do not want to have all the garbage that's with that LLC.
Right.
You want to have a fresh LLC because that buyer do not want to see an LLC that's been out there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, because there could be issues that's coming down the pipeline that may attach that LLC because it's 1 year old, it's 2 years old, it's 3 years old. So that's why it's the advantage to the buyer to look at LLCs that has just been created because the likelihood of something attached to it is very slim.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for you. So when you're creating these LLCs for these transactions, do you write those LLC costs up as expenses?
You can, yes. Can you write the LLC costs as a business expense? The answer is yes. Yes, back there in the blue.
20 minutes.
And you don't find a buyer for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
How much? So you have a soft proof of funds. How much are you on the hook for that if it just doesn't work?
Okay, in all contracts that we do, we have contingencies and out clauses. There's always going to be a financing contingency. Okay? So we will just invoke that financing contingency. We couldn't get financing. But when you're applying for these, I'm not really applying for financing. Does everybody understand that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not applying for financing. I'm getting that letter, but I'm not really applying for financing. That's just a requirement that if you're putting an offer in on the MLS, and I'm going to give you ways to get properties other than the MLS this afternoon, that's their requirement. Let me just say something right here and right now. Most homeowners don't ask you for proof of funds letters. I can't remember the last time we've dealt with a homeowner that has asked us for a proof of funds letter. They don't ask that. They want to know, can you help them, and are you going to buy my property? You want to be known as a person of integrity and a person that does what you say you're going to do. Okay? So homeowners, I'm generally not submitting proof of funds letters when I'm dealing directly with the homeowners. We're doing proof of funds letters when we're dealing with the bank or short sales. Okay? Or properties on the MLS, because the agent is going to want a proof of funds letter. Okay? Any more other questions? Let me see okay, this is a sample of what an LLC assignment document, little one-page documents. Sometimes they're 2-page, and what it basically just says is you're assigning your rights, 100% of your rights in your LLC to whoever it is for X amount of dollars. That's all it says. And we're going to close on X date. Okay, this is very popular now. It's It used to not be, okay, but this is common practice now in terms of doing HUD houses, bank REOs, and short sales. Okay, let me give you an example right before lunch. Do I have time to do example?
15 minutes.
Okay. This is a wholesale example. I'm trying to see which property this is. Oh, okay. This you, Gary. Okay. This is one that Gary did. Okay, this was actually a short sale. This was a property in Baltimore City. And there's Stephanie. You know which property. That's the agent. Stephanie was the agent on it. She was the one that actually worked on the short sale. Gary was here, okay? He did a contract with the homeowner for $27,000. Okay, Stephanie actually went through, did the short sale. Bank accepted the short sale. And he did a LLC assignment to a rehab buyer for $14,000. The numbers, okay? Contract price with the homeowner was $27,000, okay? LLC assignment $14,000. So the rehabber buyer ended up bringing $41,000 to the table. Everybody understand those numbers? Okay. All right. So Gary, right here, made $14,000 off of that deal. Yay, Gary!
And how much money did you have to come out of pocket with?
Oh, Gary, how much did you put up? Okay, zero. Okay. Now, okay, but when we do short sales, it's not just about us making money. You got to look out for that homeowner, because short sale and going through any type of foreclosure process can be very traumatic for that homeowner. Very traumatic, okay? So any short sale that we do, we try to get the homeowner money. Look what the bank gave the seller, $10,000. Seller walked away with $10,000 at closing. The bank, right. Now, on short sales, the homeowner cannot get any money that is not approved by the bank. They have to approve the amount that the homeowner gets. In this case, Stephanie was able to get the homeowner $10,000 relocation fee. Okay? And Stephanie, you helped her find some place, right, to move? Okay. All right. Okay, so she got that check at closing and moved out, Stephanie said, the next day. Okay, let's start in the back, and then I'll work my way up. With the hat.
What does the student then contact the short sales specialist?
The student, when they get a property, and when they determine that it's a short sale, then that's when they contact the short sale. Well, mostly all short sales, you got to have an agent involved, and we'll talk about that again after lunch. So when Gary got it, he contacted me, and I contacted Stephanie. Okay.
So was it already listed as a short sale REO, or did he find
No, it was. The question was it already listed as a short sale or REO? No, it actually was not. We teach multiple ways of finding properties. Our preferable way, most preferred way, is actually marketing directly to the homeowner. So we're going to talk about that after lunch. So what Gary did was actually contacted the homeowner direct.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
As far as the money that went back to the homeowner, was that the HACA, or they canceled it, or is that something else?
It's considered a relocation fee. Okay? But you got to know to ask for that money for that homeowner. If the agent or whoever is working on that short sale doesn't know to ask for money for that homeowner, then it's not something that's the bank is going to give. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you addressed the proof of funds letter, but how about the deposit that you show when you're trying to put in the contract with the agent?
Okay, I know I'm gonna get it now.
It's
I'm
on
so
video.
glad. I'm glad it's almost lunchtime, so I can hide.
It's on, it's on video now.
Don't beat me up, agents. Okay. The question is, what about the deposit for putting in the contract? You know, if you put in a contract, a lot of times, especially when an agent is involved with on the MLS, they're going to require a deposit. There is no law that says that you have to put up earnest money deposit. There is no law that says. Now, agents, let me say, you can if you want to show me where it says, and I know you're going to say consideration, but that's consideration.
All right, go ahead,
the
girl.
offer is consideration. Remember, I said my daughter's a broker, and if anybody in here knows my daughter, okay, she's not an investor. First of all, she is very straight by the book. Is Deshaun in here? Deshaun, stand up, please. He's another agent. You'll see some properties he did this evening. Deshaun, how would you describe your broker in terms when it comes to doing things by the book?
She's definitely very strict, very by the book.
I can't hear you.
She's very strict.
Okay.
She's definitely by the book.
All right. So I'm saying that. Does that answer your question? So it's going to depend on the agent that you work with. That's number one. The second thing, there's ways the deposit can be done. You maybe can put a portion of the deposit up now and some at a later date. The real estate contracts do allow for that. In fact, because I was preparing for this, I did check with my daughter on that, and she showed me on the Maryland Realtors contract where it does say that. Okay, so there's ways that you can do that, okay? But just talk to the agent and get your agent to work with you in terms of that. Okay? Yes, sir.
Under Maryland law, the only deposit can be considered loving consideration. There has to be there doesn't have to be a cash.
Everybody hear that? It does.
It's in the law.
Okay.
So what he was saying is,
Under Maryland law, under COMAR, the only thing that has to be paid is called loving consideration, and it's written right into COMAR. The brokers are the ones that ask for the cash deposit, and that's done through Maryland Association of Realtors.
You were saying something, Charles, too. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, basically, what I was saying is a contract is a living and breathing document, the terms of which can be negotiated. So it's not a steadfast act that you have to pay X amount of dollars. It's up to that agent or that broker to say, I'm only going to accept this dollar amount, and then it's the matter of negotiating. So it's not that it's by law, it's what the term that the agent or the broker says, this is what I'm willing to accept.
And let me say one more thing, why agents do it in agents' defense, okay, is because if they're that listing agent, who is their fiduciary duty to? The seller. And so what they're doing is looking out for that seller. That's a way that they consider looking out for that seller. Okay? All right. Any other? So, okay, that's the end of wholesaling concepts. We'll start on this after lunch. We've talked about the three ways you close wholesale deals. What's the first one? What kind of assignments? Contract assignments. What's the second one?
Double close.
Double closings, and the third one, LLC assignments, okay? All right, so now we're good to get ready to now go out and start investing and look for properties, and that's what we're going to do after lunch. We're going to talk about how to find how to find sellers and how to find properties. Everybody good with that? Okay.